Today on the BB3D channel, we're checking out the Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2. It's an enclosed CoreXY printer. It's built for speed, and it includes a 4-color setup called Canvas. We'll go through the specs and features, take a look at how the software and ecosystem work, and then we'll take a look at some prints to see what it can do. And we'll get started right after this. Hello 3D printing friends, and welcome back. So today we're taking a look at the Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2. Elegoo sent this over free of charge so we could get a look at it. It's a compact enclosed CoreXY printer with a 256 by 256 by 256 millimeter build volume, which makes it a good size for most everyday prints without being overly large. It's very similar in design to the original Centauri Carbon, but with a few refinements. For example, the side panels are now attached from inside the printer, so the screws aren't visible. Elegoo claims print speeds up to 500 millimeters per second. In real life, print speeds generally max out in the 200 to 300 millimeters per second range. That's still plenty quick and more reasonable for consistent quality. To help support those higher speeds, Elegoo improved the dedicated parts cooling fan on the tool head, and there's also an auxiliary parts cooling fan inside the chamber for extra airflow when it's needed. It takes 1.75 millimeter filament, pushing it through a 0.4 millimeter hardened steel nozzle. The hot end can now reach up to 350 degrees Celsius, with the bed topping out at 110 degrees, so material support is pretty broad. Out of the box, Elegoo lists PLA, PETG, TPU, ABS, ASA, and PLA carbon fiber as preferred materials. It's also capable of handling more demanding filaments like carbon fiber versions of PETG, ABS, and ASA. Elegoo says it can also print PA, also known as nylon, and even polycarbonate. That said, the build chamber is passively heated. It might be able to keep the chamber just warm enough for nylon, but I don't think it's going to hit the chamber temps that polycarbonate prefers. The original Centauri Carbon's glass lid is replaced with this clear tinted enclosure. It sits above the main frame and covers the PTFE tubes running from the canvas down to the tool head. It gives the tubes plenty of headroom, lets them curve gently instead of being forced through a sharp bend, and it also helps hold in the heat when the chamber needs it. The bed has a magnetic spring steel build sheet with a textured PEI coating. The A side is more textured and accommodates more materials, while the B side is smoother and rated only for PLA. You also get 121-point automatic bed leveling, which helps give good first layers, and there's a built-in camera for live monitoring, time lapses, and even print failure detection. There's also a filament runout sensor so it can let you know when you need to run out and get more. I will never not make that joke. Up front is a 5-inch capacitive color touchscreen, which is responsive and easy to navigate. And for file transfer, you can print either via USB flash drive or Wi-Fi, depending on how you like to work. We'll also talk about Elegoo's Canvas 4-color system in just a bit, since it's one of the biggest features on this printer. But first, I want to mention the ventilation and air filtration system. The Centauri Carbon 2 uses what they call a smart grill at the back of the printer. It opens or closes automatically depending on what material you're printing and what the chamber temperature is doing. When you're printing lower temperature materials like PLA, PETG, or TPU, the grill opens. That lets the chamber fan run at a lower speed to help keep things quieter while still keeping the internal temperature under control. For higher temperature materials like ABS, ASA, nylon, and polycarbonate, the grill closes and the chamber fan stays off during the print. That helps the printer hold on to heat and maintain a more stable internal temperature. As for filtration, it uses a 2-stage filter with a HEPA filter and coconut shell activated carbon. Elegoo says this setup has about 4 times the absorption capacity of the original Centauri Carbon, filtering out fine particles and cutting down on odors, especially when printing things like ABS or ASA. Now, I'd still recommend proper ventilation if you're running higher temperature materials on a regular basis, but this is more than just a basic exhaust fan. Now, let's talk about Elegoo's 4-color filament system. They call it Canvas, and when I asked about it, Elegoo said it's not actually an acronym. They just liked how it sounded. But it really feels like it should be an acronym, so in my head, Canvas stands for Colors Are Nice, Vibrant, and Sharp. So yeah, Canvas is Elegoo's 4-color filament system, and it uses a single nozzle. It's not multiple tool heads, and it's not a tool changer. It's one hot end with filament swaps happening automatically as the print runs. Physically, the Canvas unit is mounted on the right side of the printer, up at the top. You load filament onto spool holders mounted on the side of the printer, and from there, each filament feeds up into the canvas. Loading filament is pretty straightforward. You mount a spool, take the end of the filament, and insert it into one of the 4 inputs on the bottom of the Canvas unit. Canvas grabs the filament and feeds it in automatically. Once the filament is loaded, you use the touchscreen to tell the printer what type and color of filament you just loaded into that specific slot. Elegoo is also starting to roll out filament spools with embedded RFID tags, and if you're using those, the process gets even simpler. You just hold the spool up to the side of the canvas so it can read the tag, then load the filament the same way as before. Instead of manually selecting filament type and color on the screen, the printer just asks which slot you loaded that tagged filament into. It only saves a couple of taps, but it's a nice quality of life feature. From there, the workflow is what you'd expect. In the slicer, you assign colors or materials to different parts of the model, slice it, and send it to the printer. During the print, Canvas handles unloading one filament, loading the next, purging as needed, and then continuing the print. Like most single-nozzle multicolor systems, there are a few trade-offs. Color changes add time, since every swap involves unloading, loading, and purging filament. And there's also purge waste, especially when switching between very different colors. How much depends on your purge settings and the model. But the upside is simplicity. You're still dealing with one nozzle and one tool head, which keeps calibration and maintenance more like a normal single extruder printer. And Canvas isn't just for color. You can also use it to keep multiple filaments loaded at once for single color prints, or use different materials for support interfaces, or even just have a lot of one color on hand. Maybe you're printing something that needs more than a single spool of red PLA. If you load up multiple spools of red PLA, the printer can switch to another spool when the first one runs out. We'll take a look at some multicolor Canvas prints when we get to the print show and tell part of the video a bit later. I want to talk a bit about Elegoo's ecosystem because it plays a role in how you actually use the printer. Elegoo recommends using Elegoo Slicer with the Centauri Carbon 2. It's the slicer that ties directly into Elegoo's ecosystem. Elegoo is going for a more connected experience, where the printer, the slicer, and a model library all work together. It has built-in access to Elegoo's NextPrint model repository. So instead of heading out to a separate website, downloading a file, and then importing it manually, you can browse models right inside the slicer, pull one in, and start setting it up to print. That makes the workflow feel more streamlined, especially if you're newer to 3D printing or you just want to get something printing quickly. From there, the process is pretty straightforward. You assign materials or colors if it's a multicolor print, slice it, and send it over to the printer. And because this is integrated with Canvas, assigning colors or materials in the slicer lines up directly with the filament slots you've already loaded on the printer. There's even a handy button to sync the printer's current filament loadout into the Prepare tab. According to Elegoo's documentation, you can also slice files for the Centauri Carbon 2 using Orca Slicer or Akira. You won't get the same level of integration that you do with Elegoo Slicer, but it's nice to see that you're not locked into Elegoo's ecosystem. Elegoo also has a mobile app called Matrix, which gives you remote access to the printer. From the Matrix app, you can monitor the printer, control the motion system, and view the live feed from the built-in camera. You can also start a print from the app as long as the file has already been loaded onto the printer. What you can't do is slice or upload a new file directly from your phone or tablet. Unlike with Elegoo Slicer, NextPrint isn't available through the Matrix app. Matrix is more for monitoring and basic control. It's not really a full mobile slicing or printing solution. One final note here, out of the box the printer defaults to LAN-only mode. If you disable that, the printer can connect to Elegoo's cloud services, which is required for Matrix. So if you prefer that the printer not be cloud connected, Matrix won't be able to see it. Elegoo Slicer works with the printer whether it's in LAN-only mode or not. Plus, if you want the printer 100% not on a network, you can save sliced files to a USB flash drive, plug it into the front of the printer, and print that way. Just be aware that if you keep the printer off network, you'll have to manage filament settings yourself in the slicer. Okay, with that covered, let's take a look at some prints. So as we get a look at these prints, there's one consistent thing you'll probably notice. And instead of mentioning it on every print, I wanted to get it out of the way at the beginning. And the thing is this: the top surfaces of the prints look like they need just a bit more flow because there are some fine gaps between the lines. I saw this with multiple filaments, so it seems more like a print profile tuning issue than anything else. On the bright side, it should be pretty easy to fix. Anyway, let's look at the prints. First up, this little Buddha on a cloud. I printed this with Elegoo's yellow PLA. This one was already loaded on the printer as a sample print. It took about a half hour to do. It came out really good. The surface finish is smooth, and the overhangs on the chin and nose printed without issue. I'll just leave this here for a few more seconds. This next model was also on the printer as a sample print, and it actually serves a purpose. It's a PTFE tube tool designed to press the release collars on the tool head's PTFE tubes so you can remove a tube if you need to. These printed in about 25 minutes each. I had yellow, red, green, and black Elegoo PLA loaded on the printer. Each time I started the print from the touchscreen, I chose a different filament color to make sure the canvas system was able to feed the filament properly. And each time, it worked great. The surface finish is smooth, and I honestly don't see a problem with these. As we continue through some single color prints, I wanted to print something using ASA. I wanted to see how the printer would handle it, since that's going to require a bit more warmth in the build chamber, so I printed this desk organizer model. This was printed from an old spool of Polymaker's Polylite ASA. I like its stark white color. It took 6.5 hours to print, and I think it came out pretty good. I don't see any glaring defects in it. The top surface of the bottom has those fine gaps between the lines I've seen on other prints. But there isn't any stringing, and there wasn't any warping. I didn't even have to use a brim. It stayed attached to the bed throughout the whole print. The desk organizer model includes a divider to create 6 compartments. I printed that using Elegoo's yellow PLA. It came out really nice, and I don't have any complaints about it. The yellow goes really well with the white, too. The divider lets you keep useful things within reach. Pins, remotes, cables, chargers, fidget toys, and even 3D printed paper clips. I printed these using Elegoo's red PLA. They work great for keeping a few sheets of paper clipped together or for marking pages in a book that you want to come back to later. The Centauri Carbon 2 churned out a full build plate of 104 of these little things in just 106 minutes, so each one only took about a minute to print. I'd say the printer was cruising along at a pretty good clip. Now let's get into some canvas prints. Here's a cute 3-color articulated knitted fox. It printed in 5 hours and 21 minutes. Elegoo Slicer did a good job calculating the purge amounts between colors when it sliced this model, so the color transitions here are super clean. I don't see any color bleed between the black, white, or orange filament. And the model itself came out pretty much perfect. All the little articulated segments move like they're supposed to. I have no complaints about it. There was plenty of purge waste, as I've talked about in other videos. But with single nozzle multicolor printers, that just sort of comes with the territory. Here's another 3-color canvas print. This is a Deadpool duck in red, black, and white PLA. This one needed supports for some of the overhangs, like the duck's bill and the hilts of the swords. I actually printed 3 of these at once. I gave one to my kid, but these are the other 2. I left the supports on one of them so you could see what they looked like. It came out smooth with good color transitions and no color bleeding, but maybe I just can't tell. After all, Deadpool wears the red suit, so you can't see him bleed. And of course, plenty of purge waste, but again, that's not unexpected. I want to finish out the prints with a 4-color canvas print, and that's this articulated lizard. There were 2 versions, one with heart eyes and one with regular eyes, so I printed them both at the same time. This took about 9 hours to complete, just half an hour longer than the 3 Deadpool ducks. These came out great, again with really clean color transitions and without color bleeding. And the articulating joints all work as expected. Here's the purge waste for this one. It looks to be about the same amount as the Deadpool ducks, which is maybe a little bit more than the knitted fox. All these models printed really well and didn't give me any trouble. The Centauri Carbon 2 did a great job on them. Okay, Now I want to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and where I think there's room for improvement. I like the integration of Next Print in the Home tab of Elegoo Slicer. This makes it easy to browse models on the Next Print site and pull them right into the Prepare tab. Also, the touchscreen on the printer is nice. It's bright and responsive, and to me, the user interface is laid out in a fairly logical manner. Starting a print from the screen only takes a couple of taps, and the screen prompts you to select the filament you want to use for that print job. If it's a multicolor print, it shows you which colors it was sliced for, and you can assign filaments that you've got loaded in Canvas. And speaking of Canvas, it's pretty easy to load. Insert the end of the filament, and then tell the printer what kind and color the filament is. If it's one of Elegoo's RFID tag spools, hold it up to Canvas so it can read the tag, and then insert the filament. Tagged filament spools may not be the earth-shattering innovation they once were, but they do save you a couple of taps on the screen and help make sure the printer has an accurate idea of the filament it's got on board. I also like that Elegoo's Matrix mobile app allows me to keep tabs on the printer and see what's going on in the build chamber even if I'm not home. Something I don't like is that the printer has a high-pitched electronic whine when it's on. I can't tell where it's coming from, but it's there and it's annoying. The filament path from Canvas to the toolhead uses nice gentle curves instead of forcing the PTFE tubes through a sharp bend, and that's a good thing. But the top enclosure has to make room for that, and it adds to the overall height of the printer. And since the spools all live on the right side of the printer, the end result is a machine that's taller and needs extra space on one side, so you can actually remove and replace them. That doesn't mean I dislike Canvas or the filament path design. I actually like how it's implemented. It just means you need to plan for extra space above and beside the printer to accommodate it. So, is there anything that could be improved here? Well, I think it would be cool if the Matrix mobile app would allow you to browse the Next Print site and send models to the printer. Right now, it doesn't seem to do that. And Elegoo, if that feature does exist and I missed it, I'm sorry, it's not obvious in the app. Also, I'd like to see Elegoo update the default profiles, especially top layer flow. The prints were consistently just a little bit underfilled on top, and that feels like something that could be dialed in pretty easily. So overall, this feels like a pretty solid machine with some clear strengths and a few compromises and some room to keep evolving. The Elegoo Centauri Carbon 2 makes the most sense for makers who want multicolor or multi-material capability without moving to a much more complex machine. If you like the idea of Canvas, want an enclosed CoreXY printer built for higher speeds, and you're comfortable doing a bit of tuning to dial things in, you'll probably like this printer. It's also a good match if you have the space for the added height and side-mounted spools. On the other hand, if you're tight on space, or you need a fully heated chamber for materials like polycarbonate, this probably isn't the best fit. So, thanks again to Elegoo for sending this over so we could get a look at it. Thank you for watching, and big thanks to everyone who supports the channel, whether with channel memberships or by using the links in the description. If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe so you don't miss new ones. Well, 3D printing friends, that's about all the time we have for this one. And now that we're at the end, let's go print something cool.